Welcome to the NBA Pub Hub, Pub Sports Radio, Wednesday, December 21st. Ian Cameron, Dutch Boy Fresh, Billy Briz in the house and ready to break. We've got a huge slate tonight in the NBA, 11 games, no time to waste. Milwaukee, Cleveland, 2.5 point home favorites, 217 the total in this game. Obviously, I kind of leaned to the Pelicans a little bit the other night when they took on Milwaukee, and Milwaukee played a really good basketball game, pretty much led wire to wire and got the job done in that game. Now they will look to keep it going here tonight, taking on this Cavaliers team. Continues to be just lights out here on their home floor. I think a lot of us were on them on Monday's show, laying the points against Utah, and they rolled the victory in that game. I'm right back to Cleveland. I respect Milwaukee. I know that's a good basketball team, but I like this Cleveland team at home here. They've already beaten Milwaukee once this year as well. Keep that in mind. So there shouldn't be any fear when you look. Actually, Milwaukee did beat them twice. That was last year I'm looking at. This year, they played each other twice in November. Milwaukee won both games, both in Milwaukee, though. Milwaukee's yet to come to Cleveland, Rock City here this season to face the Cavaliers. I like Cleveland here. Short number, 2.5. I actually went the money line at minus 135. At home, they're lights out. They're up for this game with Milwaukee coming in. I think they get the job done. And let's be honest, Pelicans, up and down lately, didn't have Ingram either. I think this is a spot for the Cavs to get the win at home. What do you think here, Dutch? Cavs hosting the Bucks.
Yeah, man. Real quick, salute to the ladies, gents, and D-gents for tuning in. You already know it's all love. Hey, be sure to hit that motherfucking like button. Like I'm hitting this plane of face on fire right now. Get you right where you need to be. Yeah, man. Hey, yo, D, I see you, my man. Star Child, always good to see my man. Been on fire, too. I see you. Stimmy OG, Nets Bets, all the real ones showing out. Yeah, man, I don't like much on this card. I ain't going to lie to you, but this is a game I do like. I'm going to second everything you said. But Bono, this to me is a nice Cavaliers spot here. They have lost both meetings, both by 15 points. You touched on it, both in Milwaukee. But the Cavaliers handle business at the crib, and they handle business against good teams at the crib. They're 9-1-1 ATS last 11 home games versus a road team with a winning percentage greater than 60%, which obviously we have in Milwaukee. Look a little more into that. They're 17-3-1 ATS last 21 home games versus a team with a winning home record. They handle like I said, they handle business at the house. 11-4-2 straight up this year against the number. They've won 11 out of the last 12 basketball games in Cleveland. With this short number here, I believe this is good money right here. The Bucks are 2-4 ATS last 6 meetings. And do have Brooklyn on deck here, not tomorrow, but I believe Friday night they play Brooklyn. Give me the Cavaliers -2. It's good money, man.
All right, what do you think, Billy Briz?
I'm right there with you, man. I guess this is around the Cavaliers. Here we go, man. To the window we all go, to the Cavaliers, because I'm right there with you. I don't have a lot of plays on this slate, but Cleveland would be probably my top play of the day here. I mean, Cavs have been electric at home. You got the revenge narrative, everything that you guys said. I mean, what can you really do here? Is this one of those ones where are we all going to get burnt with the public? Or
I don't worry about that. I don't worry about that, honestly. I don't worry about that one bit. I definitely think if it's the right side, it's the right side. It doesn't matter if I'm on it alone or 10 million other people are on it. So we all like Cleveland and think they can get the win here at home. All right, next up here on the Wednesday slate, Detroit and Philadelphia. Philadelphia 12-point home favorites, 223 the total. If not for the fact that the Pistons played last night at home against Utah, although the Sixers had the rest advantage against Toronto, too, the other night at home, and they barely won in overtime, and they didn't cover. I want to take Detroit here. I don't trust Philly laying this kind of number. I said that on Monday with the Raptors game. As much as the Raptors have been struggling and playing shit basketball, I didn't trust the Sixers laying a big number, and it's kind of that way here. I don't trust them laying a big number. They sometimes will go in and out of, focus, lapses defensively. We saw that on display Monday night when they barely survived the Raptors on their home floor. Detroit is struggling. They've lost 3 in a row, but let's be honest, 2 of the 3 were competitive losses. Sacramento was a single-digit loss. Brooklyn was a single-digit loss. The Lakers was a 7-point loss. Memphis was a 10-point loss. They haven't lost many games lately by more than this point spread. I think I am going to take Detroit. It may not be a big bet, but I think at this number, I don't like Philly in the double-digit favorite role. I never have, and I still don't. So I like Detroit here. Philly wins, but probably you're right. Someone in the chat says it's 6-10, and that's going to get you a cover with Detroit here. What do you think here, Dutch? Pistons, Sixers.
Yeah, man. Shout out to our guy Moses. I see my man Sam Comer. Good to see you, my man. Dabby Cap in the motherfucking building. I see you, bro. Mark Nick. Hey, a name and a face I need to see a little bit more. Mark Nick, good to see you back. Hey, good to see you back, my man. But yeah, hey, it's only right. Back with this motherfucker.
All right. Yeah.
Backwood for Dutch. Billy, what do you think?
I like the Sixers here, man. They've been rolling at home, 11-1 ATS in their last 12 home games, 4-1 ATS last 5 overall. I would say the Pistons have been playing pretty good on the road, 4-1 ATS their last 8 road games, but I think they're going to have a hard time stopping Embiid. Embiid's had 30-plus points in 2 of his last 3 meetings versus Detroit, and I think if you like Detroit, why not bet the over 223? Sixers haven't really been playing a bunch of defense. Head-to-head, these 2 teams are 8-1-1 last 10 meetings. So probably over 223 is the best bet here.
All right. Liking the over here in this game for Billy with the Pistons and Sixers. All right. We go on to next game on the slate here. It's Indiana, Boston. Boston 10-point home favorites, 233 being the total in this game. We've got the Boston Celtics who, the last few games back down to earth a little bit, 1-4 in their last 5 games. Losing back-to-back home games to the red-hot Orlando Magic, who nearly beat Atlanta on a back-to-back on Monday night. In fact, Atlanta just pissed that game away down the stretch, and they needed to be bailed out by free throws in the dying seconds to survive by 1 point against Orlando. But, you lose to Orlando these days, it's not a bad loss, the way the Magic are very much improving of late. But you would think now Boston back-to-back home loss wants to bounce back strong. They might have the right opponent. Indiana's kind of struggled as well, 3-7 in their last 10 games. On the road, we've seen them lose by double digits to Utah, to Portland. They lost by 6 to a Minnesota team that nobody can figure out. And then last game was better against Cleveland on the road, 8-point dogs. They lost by 6. So competitive effort against Cleveland. We just talked about how good the Cavs are at home. They lost to the Knicks 109-106 on Sunday night. Both teams have had 2 days off, but I wouldn't want to step in front of the Celtics here. They've lost 2 in a row at home. They don't want that to continue. Probably be, if anything here, first half, full game split kind of look. And after a couple of games in a row, too, where the Celtics just didn't shoot the basketball or score as much as they've become accustomed to, this could be a night for them to bounce back. We know Indiana isn't a great defensive team by any stretch of the imagination. They're ranked in the 20s in points per game allowed, 3-point percentage allowed, bottom half, and field goal percentage defense as well. So this could be a Boston first half full game split, Boston team total over kind of game for me. If I were to bet this game, that's what I'd be looking at here. Some kind of look with the Celtics, first half full game, and maybe also the team total over on Boston as well. Dutch, what do you think here? Pacers, Celtics.
Yeah, man. I gotta say, I think what our guy Sweaty Butcher got going on sounds amazing. Absolutely amazing. Shout out to Rez Mob. I see you, my man. Good to see you. Alfonso Scott in the building. I see you, my dude. Yeah, this game, man. This game, what game is it? Oh yeah, the Celtics. I honestly, I agree with you here, Bobano. I think it's team total over here in Boston. Our guy Sam Comer, like in the first quarter, laying 3.5. So he expects Boston to come out pissed the fuck off. I mean, they lost 2 straight, 4 out of the last 5, I believe. So had a couple days to think about it. This is one of the better, one of the more elite teams, honestly, in basketball. So, I mean, I wouldn't get in front of it. They should be able to do offensively whatever they want to against the Indiana Pacers. Just a matter of do they come out and prove it. But perimeter is a big thing with Boston, too. Knock down a couple threes is contagious, and then everyone seems to do it. So, yeah, I would look Boston here, but no play for me.
All right, Billy.
I'm right there with you. The Pacers are 3rd in pace, but 23rd in offensive efficiency. So this feels like a spot where Boston can get back on the road here. I mean, back at home and just dominate this matchup. I like the team total over 120.5 at -128, or the first half. I think it was, let me just check it real quick. 62.5 at -120, first half, -1. That isn't a bad look either. Indy allows 117 points per game on the road, so I expect a high-scoring game in this one for Boston.
Yeah, I think the over full game is a good bet too, actually. 232.5, 233. Now, you might need Boston to do a lot of the heavy lifting, but I think they're very capable of doing that. And as you mentioned there, Sweaty Butcher, 4-1 to the over in Boston Celtics games when they've been a double-digit favorite this season. All right, Chicago.
Celtics, look who shows up. My bad, Bono. Mr. Trifecta. Shout out to Nasty Nate, our guy.
Of course. Yeah. Celtics are the bet every
The
game.
Celtics win by
Nate's world.
13.
Yeah.
Trifecta.
They're always the bet in Nasty Nate's world, Boston,
Yeah.
in every game they play. But I do like them tonight, legitimately do like them, and I think they'll probably bounce back big against Indiana. All right, Chicago, Atlanta. Atlanta, 5.5-point home favorites, 236 the total in this game. So Atlanta's got the rest advantage. I don't know what other advantage they have, honestly. But like, seriously, I mean, they're playing horrendous basketball. Who cares they beat Charlotte big? Charlotte's got issues. What I'm concerned about is they actually brought a good start against Orlando the other night, playing a team that's on a back-to-back after 2 big wins in Boston. You get them in a vulnerable spot, and you should have run away and hid from that Magic team with the lead early. They pissed it away, Atlanta, down the stretch, and they're fucking lucky they hung on with that 1-point win the other night against the Orlando Magic. They are not playing 48-minute basketball right now. And say what you will about Chicago, they're inconsistent, but they did snap a 4-game losing streak last night, albeit Miami personnel issues galore, but still 113-103 road win at Miami last night. It is a back-to-back. It is, again, a rest situation, rest advantage for Atlanta, but that didn't matter against Orlando, did it? They didn't cover that game with a rest advantage against a team on a back-to-back. I could only look Chicago in this game. I mean, I'm not laying points with Atlanta. It's that simple, that fucking simple, not doing it. So it's either you find a way to back the Bulls, in my opinion, or you leave the game alone. What do you think here, Dutch? Bulls, Hawks?
Yeah, man, I gotta agree everything you said so far, Bono. Really, I'm right with you there, man. I think, man, how could you bet Atlanta right now? But it's like you said it against the Magic the other day. They should have just did their thing, and they almost gave the fucking game away. They got lucky to win it outright. Yeah, man, it's the Bulls or nothing here. But fuck, I mean, we talked about this yesterday, I believe. You know, they against Miami, is a lot of the sharps like the Bulls. I couldn't do it. Now you're giving them 5.5 against a team. I don't really care who's out there. I don't think they have the fortitude or the mentality that even the Heat have, you know. So I could only look Chicago here, but man, they're in some ruffles too, man. You know, Zach LaVine, you heard these guys had it, so they could rally around that. That could either affect them in a negative way. So far, what we've seen is they went into South Beach and won a basketball game. So maybe ride that, ride that right now, because it could either affect the whole locker room and they could rally around and play some decent basketball, because we could all agree they have the talent there to win some basketball games. So yeah, I would look the Bulls probably 5.5 here, Nathan here.
By the way, some personnel things to point out in this game. It's looking more and more like Lonzo Ball ain't coming back this year. They're starting to think he might miss the Who? Yeah, does he even
That ass though.
Lonzo Ball, yeah, it looks like he may not be back this season. If Javonte Green and Alex Caruso are banged up and might miss the game tonight. Clint Capella is still looks like out for the Hawks tonight and will be out at least another week. And it's worth noting, with his absence, this defense suffers. I mean, without him, look at what they're giving up. And there's been more pace in their games with no Capella, smaller lineup, worse defense, more overs. So I think the over might be worth a look too in this game, Chicago, Atlanta. I'd probably do a first half full game over, double up, just in case Chicago runs out of gas in the second half on a back-to-back. But there should be a lot of points in this game. What do you think here, Billy?
Our child thinks it's a beautiful thing over there, but Bono, he's right with you.
I agree.
I agree. Man. This one's hard, man. It's like the Bulls are 1-4 ATS in their last 5 road games, 2-7 ATS last 9 games overall. It's like a battle of like, which team do you really trust more? And despite that, I mean, the historical trends are kind of leading towards the Bulls' favor. 7-3 ATS last 10 meetings in Atlanta, and 4-1 ATS last 5 meetings. So, I mean, I lean towards the Bulls getting the points, but I don't think I want to bet my money on it. And then shouts to Razor. He asked me about this Nova question. I like the over in that Nova St. John's game, and I'm taking Notre Dame tonight over the Seminoles.
Oh, shit.
I actually think that's a good bet, Notre Dame. We'll get to that later with Connor Mack on that's coming up, by the way, net profit.
Razor.
Yeah.
It's the NBA show, motherfucker. Tell him, Bobano, goddammit. Get us back
Come on,
track,
Razor.
please.
Don't be lazy. You're trying to get your college looks in now and your questions. We got a college show next hour, goddammit. You want your college questions answered? Come to that show. Come in the chat next hour, Razor. Let's go. Connor and I will take care of you. And Billy Briz is in the chat. Billy shows up in the chat for the Net Profit show. You got to follow the lead of our.
I didn't even read his comment, or else I wouldn't have let that shit up there. My fault.
Nova's my favorite team, man.
That's Billy's team.
I do
watch. No, he's my guy. It's my guy.
All good. We're just playing. We're just throwing around words here. Golden State and Brooklyn. Brooklyn 12.5-point home favorites, 224.5 being the total in this game. Brooklyn. Look, 19-12 now. I got to admit, Brooklyn's playing nice. 6 straight wins. They've covered 3 of those. Last time against Detroit, they didn't, though. 8.5-point favorites. Look, when it comes to this Golden State team, every single day you got to look at who's in, who's out with this group. And tonight they're definitely shorthanded. We know Curry's gone for a month. It's not delivery. It's DiVincenzo is out tonight. JaMychal Green is out. Klay Thompson is out. Andrew Wiggins is out. So it's basically Jordan Poole, Draymond Green, Kayvon Looney, and a lot of bench players and guys stepping up to the starting 5 tonight. Moses Moody and Anthony Lamb are going to get that opportunity tonight for Golden State. So, that's the concern, right? But I will say this. I mean, they were missing some key cogs the other night against Toronto. They won that game. They played last night, though. They got beat down by the red-hot, surging New York Knicks, actually, 132-94 in that game. This is a game, for me, I'm not getting involved in it. I'm not laying 12.5 with Brooklyn. I don't know if this is the right personnel group that I trust with Golden State to take the double digits, and they're on a back-to-back as well. I'd take Golden State before Brooklyn, but not enough of a strong opinion to back it with money. What do you think here, Dutch? Warriors, Nets?
Yeah, man. Shout out to Swiss Horton. Yeah, I'm not ready for the WNBA, man. I'm cool with that shit. But yeah, Nets bets. What you reckon? You like the first half, full game? I think right here. I think really, to be honest with you, I haven't bet this game. But man, how are we not on the Nets early here though? Right? I know the Warriors, whatever, man. But come on, man. KD and them boys should want to put it on them. I think first quarter, first half. The number's out. That's why we're not on it. The number's fucking out of line. They know. To me, the books know the Warriors are gonna come out and get smacked the fuck around by KD. Draymond like to talk that shit. KD gonna step on them, just like New York did last night. New York, we was all on it first half -3. It was a beautiful thing, and it's hard to call the Knicks a beautiful thing, but god damn it, 8 straight, and they smacked around. Well, feet up. Kush tasting a little bit better last night type of basketball. Watching the Knicks play, especially in the first half. I mean. Yeah, they did it the whole game, I believe, by 30. So it was very nice. But yeah, back to this, man. I really just think, I don't know, man. To be honest with you, I think the Brooklyn Nets got to be the game. Play first half, full game if you want to bet this basketball game. But 12.5, we know what Brooklyn gonna do. They're gonna let the Warriors hang around. So I think 12.5 would probably be the play full game. But I like the Nets early. I do.
Nets early, first quarter, first half type of look for Dutch. If he were to bet it, that's what he'd look at with Brooklyn. What do you think here, Billy?
Yeah, I'm kind of with Dutch, man. I think the 12.5 would be the move if there was a free bet that was only be able to place on this game. I would probably take the Warriors plus 12.5. The Nets are coming in rested, but it could be too many points. Buddy Butcher put it in the chat. Nets 0-3 ATS when they're double digits favorites this year. And this could be one where the Warriors just hang around and it's an 8 or 9 point loss and everybody goes home.
Exactly. That's what I'm worried about. Or some backdoor shit, which I've seen before with Golden State when they have a huge lead early in the game, which is why it's to Dutch's point, maybe the first half early in the game is what you look at here with Brooklyn because Golden State's done that. Brooklyn's done that too. They've fallen. I remember the Raptors game weeks ago. They had a huge lead, and there's the Raptors. It's down to 6 points in the final minute. So,
yeah,
again, they can turn it on and off like a water tap sometimes, and that's what you worry about when you're laying these double digits. So the first half might be preferred if you like Brooklyn.
And real quick, Bobano, they count a lot. I know they're getting a good, out of the role players, but they count a lot on KD and Kyrie, and they do show up late. But these boys do tire down too, so they get up. Through 4 quarters, man. KD and Kyrie, they turn the tire down a little bit. That's why I think these games they're winning basketball games of late, but even against lower caliber basketball teams, they're close basketball games. We're watching Kyrie making great shots. KD, they're going for 40+ type shit, you know?
Yep, definitely. And Brooklyn, again, if they bring their A game, they're going to whip Golden State tonight. It's just a question of, are we going to see that, and are we going to see it for 48 straight minutes? Toronto, New York, we've got the Knicks 1.5 point home favorites, 217 the total in this game. Raptors, look, I'll give the Raptors credit for one thing. They're playing miserable basketball right now. They can't get out of their own way. What's the losing streak at now? 6 straight. But boy, they laid it all out there on the floor the other night against Philly. You can't question the effort the other night against the Sixers. Gave it their all, battled back from a deficit, forced to overtime, and then they just went ice cold in overtime. Couldn't make a shot, and Philly ends up pulling away with the victory in that game. And now they have to face a red-hot New York Knicks team going into this one. As far as the Raptors are concerned, still it looks like no Otto Porter, no Precious Achiuwa. Gary Trent missed the last game. Man, did they miss his shooting. He has been upgraded to questionable with that quadriceps injury, but they need him on the floor. They need his offense right now on the floor. So we'll see if he plays. Kem Birch, game time decision as well. Fred VanVleet had a bit of a tough night offensively, 3 for 15, 2 of 11 against the Philadelphia. So when he shoots like that, especially with Gary Trent out, the Raptors are going to have a hard time scoring the basketball here. The one thing that they have on their side is they've been off since Monday, a rest advantage, day off between games. It's a back-to-back for the New York Knicks, although no travel. It was a home game against Golden State. And to be honest with you, they crushed Golden State, and they were able to preserve their starters. Mitchell Robinson plays 29 minutes. RJ Barrett plays 31 minutes. Julius Randle, 29 minutes. Quentin Grimes, 31 minutes. Jalen Brunson, 29 minutes. All things considered, relatively fresh on the second night of back-to-backs here for the Knicks. So I like New York here in this game. The pick 'em price range, money line. I think the Knicks get the job done. Like I said, they rest disadvantage, but no travel. They got to rest the starters down the stretch in the blowout against Golden State, and Toronto just snake bit. In the games they suck and they don't show up, they're obviously losing. In the games that they even do show up, they do play hard. They do bring it. They're losing those games too right now, Toronto. So they just can't get over the hump. I like the Knicks here. Dutch, what do you think here, Raptors, Knicks?
Yeah, man. I was hoping, man. Yeah, I guess you were right. I think the Knicks, when I look at this game, I'm like, damn, how the fuck are Knicks only -1.5? This dude, JK, our guy, JK, he said, it seems too easy. And I got to agree with them. I'm like, what the fuck? I guess it is a back-to-back situation, but they didn't move nowhere. They chilling at the crib. Bobano touched on it, broke it down every single one. None of them played more than 31 minutes, They do got a deep roster, so I mean, they're somewhat young basketball team too, and Tibbs, he gonna have them ready. So it almost seems too easy for me though. I ain't gonna lie to you. I haven't pulled the trigger here, but it would only be New York. Toronto does, I think, match up pretty well with this basketball team, but fuck, Toronto missing guys. They're missing OG big time is what they're really missing, and they just are. It's just like, do they really want to win? It's like they compete the whole game and find a way to lose basketball games. Is what it is. So I think this line could be sharp. I think it could be fourth quarter basketball. So I don't know. I'm gonna get to the window with it, but yeah, the Knicks do seem like a layup right now. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah, it seems like you're right. It's odd that the number is hung around this 1.5 point home favorite range for the Knicks the entire day. But again, the rest disadvantage probably has something to do with that.
Yeah.
But again, the Raptors can't win a close game right now, can't win a game right now. And the Knicks, again, the rest disadvantage is not a big deal. There's no travel. And people got to think, no starter played more than 31 minutes last night for the New York Knicks. So they should be fresh as a daisy, all things considered, for a second night of back-to-back. What do you think here, Billy?
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I mean, the Knicks have played pretty good on the second half of back-to-backs anyway, regardless. 19-6-1 last 26 days, playing on 0 days of rest. So I'm not really too scared about the Knicks playing on back-to-backs. But just in case if the line is a little bit fishy, I kind of like the Knicks first half. We were on the show yesterday, and we were talking about the ATS trends for the Knicks in the first half. They've been absolutely dominant in the first half. So money line is -120 for the Knicks first half. I think that's good money.
Right, first half in particular. Yeah, in case you're worried they peter out in the second half, then you can definitely look at the Knicks first half if you prefer that. All right, next up, Portland, Oklahoma City. Portland, 3.5 point road favorites, 235.5 the total in this game. These two teams just played each other last game on Monday night, and it was a 123-121 victory for the Oklahoma City Thunder in that game. Portland looking for some redemption tonight in this one. I mean, I certainly would. I actually think Portland's probably the side. I don't know if I'll bet it, but they're probably the side. They're looking to avenge that loss the other night to the Thunder. From a lineup situation, though, I would want to see who's in. Damian Lillard, there was some talk with his left wrist injury, whether he'll play tonight, but to probable, which is good news, and that's always important. Obviously, if you're going to back Portland, looks like Josh Hart, even though he's got a left ankle sprain, is going to play and be in the lineup tonight as well for the Blazers. Yusuf Nurkic looks like he's questionable with a calf injury. He's the one that's definitely the most unlikely to play tonight for Portland, and it looks like Jeremy Grant, even with back spasms, is going to play tonight for Portland. So the one you've got to worry about, it looks like, is Nurkic. He's the one that may not play. Everyone else looks like they're good. Lillard's going to play. Hart's going to play. Jeremy Grant going to play as well for Portland tonight. On the Oklahoma City side, obviously, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander has been everything for this team. 35 points in the win against Portland on Monday night. Josh Giddey, game time decision for the Thunder tonight, and Darius Bay questionable with an illness tonight for the Thunder. But certainly if Portland's got Lillard, and it looks like they will, I'd have to think Portland -3.5 is the side here in this game, looking to avenge the Monday night loss. They are still the better team, too, than Oklahoma City. And I like the spirit of Oklahoma City, but still got to favor Portland a little bit tonight, -3.5. I like the over again. I mean, these are two teams that are more trustworthy offensively than defensively right now. So first game went over the total. Sometimes I look for the opposite in the second game in the rematch, same two teams, not with these two teams. I think it'll probably be a lot of points once again tonight between the Blazers and Thunder. Dutch, what do you think here? Portland, OKC. Oh, you're muted, my friend.
My fault. Shout out to our guy, picks from Dave. I see you, my man. Elliot V in the building. I see you. My fault. Yeah, man, this game frustrates the fuck out of me, to be quite honest with you, because I was on the Blazers last game, and offensively, I don't know, man. I don't know, man. These Thunders seem to fucking just frustrate me. I can't seem to get them right, honestly. I've been doing pretty well on the Blazers this year when I bet them. Haven't faded them really too much, to be honest with you. But if I back the Thunder, they get blown the fuck out. And if I fade them, they seem to show the fuck up. Like Shai, he did his thing the other day. I mean, and now they're getting 3.5 after you just win. It's hard to beat a team, back to back like that. But let's be honest, man. These boys have had their way with the Blazers. No matter who's been on the court, they've beat them 5 straight basketball games. So you're gonna give me 3.5? I mean, I like the Blazers. It's Dame motherfucking time, but I can't bet the Blazers here. But watch them go around and smack them, But it's a difficult spot for me. But they've lost 5 straight to them. Thunder knows something about when they see the Blazers, they know how to beat them. It's just what it is.
Yeah, just ask the Raptors for the longest time against the Pistons. They couldn't beat Detroit and Dwayne Casey all those games. And sometimes one team just has the number of the other. And we've seen OKC now 5-0 straight up, 5-0 against the spread, head-to-head the last 5 against Portland. What do you think here, Billy?
Lean towards the Blazers, but it feels a little bit too good to be true here. I feel like this could be one that could get me caught up. 7-2 ATS last 9 games overall, but like Dutch was talking about, 0-5 ATS last 5 meetings versus the Thunder, and 1-4 ATS in our last 5 meetings in OKC. So I lean towards the Blazers, but I can't bet it because of those ATS trends.
Yeah, those are hard trends to overcome. When a team's dominated one like the OKC has over Portland, it is not easy to overcome that. All right, next up, we got Dallas and Minnesota. Dallas 3.5 point road favorites, 229.5 the total. I mean, you talk about Portland being hard as fuck to figure out. What do you make of Dallas right now? I mean, this is just absolutely ridiculous with this team. What are you, bipolar? You got bipolar disease or something, this team? I mean, what gives? How can you go from dismantling Portland, beating Denver on the road, crushing the Phoenix Suns at home, some of the great highs that you've had here in the month of December, to getting whipped by Cleveland at home, losing the rematch to Cleveland on the road, and then getting destroyed last game and dominated wire to wire by a mediocre, average Minnesota team? What gives with Dallas? You don't know what you're going to get one game to the next. They're the Forrest Gump of the NBA. There's a lot of Forrest fucking Gumps in the NBA. Life's like a box of chocolates. You don't know what you're going to get. Dallas is like that. Portland can be like that. There's a bunch of teams right now in that regard, and Dallas is like that. I mean, Luka goes off, they can beat anybody. They play some defense, which some games they do, some games they don't. They can beat anybody, but it's just no consistency in their game. In theory, this should be a spot they step up and smack the hell out of Minnesota after that loss the last time to the Timberwolves. But you want to lay 3.5 with this team and trust them right now? I don't know, because we said that about the Cleveland situation too. They got destroyed. They got taken apart at home by Cleveland. They went to Cleveland and they ended up losing that game. So the revenge hasn't always mattered here for Dallas. I lean Dallas, but am I trusting them to land points on the road right now? No, I'm not. So backwood, Vic.
All right.
All right, Dutch, how about you? Mavs and Timberwolves.
Yeah, man. Our guy Nets Bet says angry Luka. And yeah, man, we could see the angry Luka, man. But man, I ain't gonna lie, I've done lost faith. But Bono said it, man. Like, this team is, man, this team's frustrating as fuck. Like, I've lost a lot. I started off winning money with these boys. I figured it out where to bet them, and now it's just like, where can you bet these motherfuckers? Probably tonight. I ain't gonna lie to you, because spot-wise, this should be it. Our guy DK says it's a matchup issue with the Dallas Mavericks here, and they don't match up very well at all, with the Minnesota. And that is, what I do see is they kind of bully them. They're too big, too strong, too physical to be quite outside of Luka. And they are beat up as well, Dallas, but they got to get, man, they got to get they got to get man the fuck up down low. Just when you watch that team, they're fugazi as fuck on the defensive end, guarding the paint, rebounding. People get offensive rebounds, kind of just push them out the fucking way, man. It's like outside of Luka, everyone ain't really got no standing their ground, in my opinion, to be honest with you. And it starts with the big guys. You can't count on Powell. He had his moments last year, but he's not it. To be honest with you, I'm frustrated as fuck with Dallas, but there ain't no way I'm betting Minnesota, So it's Dallas or nothing for me. So I'm going to have to pass on this game. But Luka should have one hell of a basketball game. So if you do want to bet this game, look Luka props. And I would expect the Mavericks to bounce back. But, man, they got fucked around the other night.
Yeah, they did. And that's why we're both in the same boat. We lean Dallas, but Dallas or nothing. We both have said those exact words, Dallas or nothing, and we're probably going to end up on nothing.
And real quick, Bobano, do you agree that our guy Nets Bet said Brunson mattered? I'm not going to say he didn't. I don't think he didn't matter. Don't get me wrong. But, I mean, man, these boys ain't making wide open shots, bro. And I think their main problem is inside toughness. Like, they got nobody to bang.
That's not it, man.
Brunson ain't helping that.
Woody Brunson, and that's just not. It's not the same.
Yeah, but they got Hardaway Jr. They got all these guys. I mean, DFS ain't playing like DFS last year. Where's that guy at? You know what I mean? But
he's questionable, by the way, tonight. Dorian Finney-Smith for Dallas, so he may not be in the lineup. But he hasn't been in the lineup in some games, even when he's been on the floor this year. It felt like it hasn't been in the lineup with his play at times. What do you think here, Billy?
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I lean Dallas, but I don't think I want to bet it. I think I want to go to the prop market. I don't think DFS is going to play tonight. Anthony Edwards over 23.5 points, minus 125. He's been averaging 24 last time without Cat. Main reason why this stands out is because Dallas is ranked 26 in defense and road games. So good spot here for Anthony Edwards to get the ball rolling here in the basket.
All right, next up here, we've got 3 games left, starting with Orlando and Houston. Pretty much a pick 'em here. Orlando 1-point road favorites, 223.5 the total in this game. We do have, a couple of injury situations to point out. Really, the guys that have been out for a while are still out for Orlando, even during this great run. That's Wendell Carter's out still, Gary Harris, Jonathan Isaac, Chuma Okeke, and Jalen Suggs, but they've been out forever. They've won all these games, and they've covered all these point spreads without all those guys. New addition is Franz Wagner with the ankle injury, although it looks like he's probably going to play because it looks like he went through the shoot around today. So it looks like Franz Wagner is going to be good to go here in this one for the Magic. They're betting Houston here in this game, which is interesting. Houston has lost 3 in a row, including to San Antonio at home, 124-105. in their last game. You know damn well I'm taking Orlando here. Are you kidding me? Pick them, just to beat the Houston Rockets. Could you argue that they beat Boston twice and they had a heartbreaker against Atlanta because they hung in there. They trailed the whole game, fought their way back, and then lost it at the buzzer on free throws. Yeah, you could say flat spot for Orlando, but come on, man. I mean, the way Orlando's playing versus the way Houston's playing right now, and it's a pick 'em. Yeah, and I've been riding Orlando every game during this, what is it now, 8-game point spread streak. Yeah, 8 in a row they've covered. 8-0 ATS, 7-1 straight up, or 6-2 straight up in those 8 games. Yeah, I'm on Orlando again. Win or lose, we keep on riding this till it falls off the tracks. What do you think here, Dutch? Orlando and Houston.
Yeah, man, I'm right with you. I look at this game, I'm like, damn, I gotta bet the Magic here. The Magic gotta be the play here. I was hoping you was you've been big on the Magic. I like their talent. But yeah, they put it together a little bit more. To me, this is like, man, it's like there ain't no ATS last 8, man. It's like roulette. It hit black 8 motherfucking times. I'm gonna ride to motherfucking 9, especially when I believe they got the 2 best players on the court, the better roster, the better basketball team, playing better basketball. So shit, and all they gotta do is win a motherfucking game. Sign me up. 6-1 straight up last 7. The Magic have been. The Rockets are suspect, especially at the house. 6-13 straight up last 19 at the crib. 1-4 ATS last 5 at the house versus the Magic. I think the Magic better basketball team. They will win this game. Stay away for some fuckery, and I believe we win this basketball game very easily because I believe a lot of the square money will be on the mat. But you did say that money has came in on Houston, but I just don't see it. I really don't, and that don't scare me. I like the Magic here. I think Bobo and Banchero and the boys will have their way with the Houston Rockets.
Yeah, and I got to give the credit to Jamal Mosley as well, head coach. I mean, comes from the Rick Carlisle tree of coaching. He was an assistant under Carlisle for years there in Dallas for a very long time. He's done a nice coaching job with this young group. It's not easy to get a young team to meld together and get better this quickly. And with Bull and Banchero and all these young kids, he's gotten them to improve way quicker than we thought they would. And Mosley's, you got to give the coach some credit in that for sure. What do you think here, Billy? Orlando, Houston?
This is an exotic backwood, man. Despite the Magic being 8-0 ATS, I gotta roll with the Rockets here, man. The Magic are 1-8 ATS last 9 games versus a team with a record below 400, and then the Rockets are 6-2-1 ATS last 9 home games, 10-4 ATS in their last 14 games following a loss by more than 10 points. This is a high variance game, but I like the Rockets here in this one.
All right, there we go. Liking the Rockets here. I'll say this. I mean, Orlando, you're right. There is some truth to the fact that against the lower level competition, sometimes they've had those clunkers. But hopefully, for the sake of the streak, 8 games, and I think I bet Orlando in just about every one of those games. That hopefully that continues tonight. We'll see. Next up, we've got L.A. Lakers, Sacramento Kings. Lakers, 7-point road underdogs. Sacramento laying 7 at home. 240.5, 241 being the total in this game. We got to give props to Ski Profit, who, we Monday on the show used Charlotte as his best bet, saying we just cannot take the Sacramento Kings as 10-point favorites against anybody. And sure enough, what happened? They lost that game outright to Charlotte, 125-119. Ski was right as rain Monday, saying that you cannot trust Sacramento laying double digits. Well, they're not laying double digits here, but they're damn close, laying 7 here in this game. I know the Lakers aren't great shakes. The Lakers are coming off a drubbing at the hands of Phoenix, 130-104 on Monday night. But I ain't laying 7 with Sacramento. That showed me all I need to know, that game against Charlotte. We're not ready to trust this team consistently laying bigger numbers like this. I know the Lakers clearly, of course, have issues. They're not a very good team right now. Anthony Davis is out. And not just that, but it looks like even Russell Westbrook has landed on the injury report with a foot injury for the Lakers. Austin Reeves is doubtful. LeBron will play, even though he's on the injury report, but Westbrook might also not go. Probably the over, if anything. I mean, we saw in the Charlotte game 244 points. It went over the total. The Lakers are just playing these insane pace, their defense is getting worse, not better, and that's going to be the case anytime Anthony Davis is out. They gave up 130 to Phoenix. That game flew over the total. The over is probably the bet I would look to here in this game, if anything here. I know it's a high number with 240.5, 241, but it would be over or pass for me. Dutch, what do you think here, Lakers, Kings?
Yeah, man. I know I was giving Ski some shit too. That's about that game. I remember that. I recall that now. Yeah, I agree though with Nets best, man. They owe, man. Hey, it's a get right spot right here for Sacramento, I believe. Come on, man. That's embarrassing. Losing outright at the crib. Haven't went to the window yet with this game, but the more and more I think about it, the more you were talking about it, I feel like, man, Sacramento first quarter, first half might be the spot here. I know there's some numbers that say, the Lakers are solid first half team, but this ain't the same Lakers team, bro. You take AD out this motherfucker, they change a lot, and they got a lot more question marks than that. But yeah, when I think about it, this seems like a pretty good spot here for Sacramento to come out, smack around, because everybody gets up for the Lakers, man. Russ, and even if they ain't playing, they're gonna be on the sidelines talking some shit. LBJ especially. So look for Sacramento off an embarrassing loss at the crib. And keep in mind, this has been a bet on basketball team most of the year. I know laying a touchdown ain't what we do with the Kings, but you break it down a little bit earlier. I believe that could be some good money.
Sacramento for Dutch, but if you were to bet it maybe earlier, first quarter, first half. Billy, what do you think?
I like the prop market in this game. LeBron James over 30.5 points. He's gone over 24 out of his last 37 games without Anthony Davis, averaging 32.9 points per game. And then Lonnie Walker over 15.5 points, -102. Walker's played 5 games without Davis this year, and he scored 16 or more points in 3 of them. And 21 and 16 in his last 2 games. I like the over here for Lonnie Walker tonight. And the Lakers defense falls off big time without Anthony Davis in the lineup. I can see why you like the over in this game, full game. But I like the Sabonis prop tonight. I think he can go over on points tonight, 20.5. Porzingis and Ayton both scored 21 in the last 2 games, first 2 games without Anthony Davis in the lineup. Sabonis is going over 20.5, 6 out of his last 9 games, and 21 points in the first meeting versus the Lakers. So Sabonis over on points tonight too.
All right, Sabonis over points on Sacramento here for a prop from Billy for this one. All right, Charlotte Hornets, LA Clippers, final game of this massive Wednesday NBA card. We've got the Clippers here, 8-point home favorites. The total 225, pretty much across the board in this one. Charlotte, we mentioned it. They were underdogs at Sacramento, won outright on Monday night by a score of 125-119. They've been good in the dog roll suddenly in a lot of their recent games, especially as the road underdog. Look at what they've done. I mean, a Philly game got away from them, but at Brooklyn, they lost by 6, covered the number. At Denver, they lost by 4, covered the number. And, of course, Sacramento, they went out. I don't want to lay this many against Charlotte in this where they've been good in this road dog role, but I don't know if I want to step in front of the Clippers either. They're starting to turn it up. 4 wins in their last 5 games. They've covered 5 of their last 6. They've been good on this homestand. They beat down a very good Celtics team. They won and covered against Minnesota, won and covered against Washington. They did have a loss to Phoenix, the only misstep on this trip. It's all about who's going to play. But when they're full strength, they've been playing really well lately. I mean, when they've had Kawhi, they've had Paul George, they've had Reggie Jackson, they've had everybody available. Well, tonight it looks like Zubac is questionable. Paul George is questionable. Kawhi looks like he's questionable as well for the Clippers. Well, with the Achilles. So this is one of those games. Hold on until you see who's on the floor and who's going to be in the lineup. But probably a game I'm going to pass on. I don't want to fade Charlotte as road dogs. They've been good in that role, but the Clippers are playing well. And if they've got everybody on the floor and available, maybe they can cover again. So probably a game I'll pass. What do you think, Dutch? Charlotte, Clippers?
Yeah, man. Shout out to Art. I see you, my dude. Banana grapes in the motherfucking building. Swiss cheese. I see you, my man. Yeah, this ain't my type of basketball game. Back with this motherfucker.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah, and even the total's tough. Charlotte games I want to bet over. Clippers games I actually kind of want to bet under right now in the Clippers games. What do you think here, Billy?
I'm right there behind you, Dutch. First backwood of the day.
All right. Yeah.
All right, there it is, the Wednesday card. 243 live viewers. Let's get that like button going. Hit it. Hit that like button. We appreciate it very much. Everybody in the chat, thank you for joining us as always. We got 2 more shows left before the Christmas break. You know what we'll do on the Friday show, too? It'll be me, Ski, and Billy on Friday. We'll do the Friday games, and we'll throw just a couple early leans for Christmas Day as well, because we know Sunday there's going to be those 5 Christmas Day games. Obviously, there'll be no shows over the weekend, but we'll throw out some Christmas Day opinions for those 5 games coming up on the Friday show. So we'll make sure we don't leave you hanging for the big 5 games on national television coming up on Christmas Day. So we'll give you some thoughts on those games on the Friday show. In the meantime, hit that like button. Best bets, Dutch's freshest look coming up right after we hear from Manscaped and Southtown 101. All right, Southtown 101. When you're in San Antonio, Texas, stop in. Great food, drinks, live music, DJs, karaoke, Southtown 101, and manscaped.com. Promo code PubSports, 20% off your purchase, plus free shipping with promo code PubSports. All right, best bets, Dutch's freshest look to wrap it up for a Wednesday. Dutch, what do you got, freshest look?
Yeah, man, we're going right back to the motherfucking land to get that money, man. Cavaliers -2. It's good money.
There you go, Cavaliers laying the small number at home against the Milwaukee Bucks. Precious look for Dutch. All right, Billy, best bet.
Damn, man, I'm right behind you, man. I'm right there with you. Cavs -2, and same game parlay tonight. We're gonna go with the Lakers and Kings. We're gonna go LeBron James over on points, Lonnie Walker over on points, and then if Sabonis is in, we're gonna take Sabonis over 20.5 points. So a little same game parlay for you guys.
All right, there you go. A couple of best bets here for Billy Briz on this Wednesday edition of the NBA Pub Hub. My best bet for this one, got a couple in mind here, but I'm going to rock in terms of the best bet tonight with the not the Magic tonight. I'm going to stay off the Magic. I know I've been using the Magic a bunch tonight with best bets, but not tonight. Don't feel great about it. I feel good enough to use Chicago at +6. There are a couple books that still have 6 right now. Fade Atlanta. I mean, to me, they just don't play 48-minute basketball. Certainly not 48 minutes of quality, consistent, strong basketball right now. I know Chicago's on the back-to-back, but that didn't matter for Atlanta when they barely hung on for dear life against Orlando and nearly blew a double-digit lead. It's just a team I have no problem fading, laying points right now. Chicago +6 against Atlanta for my best bet for this Wednesday card. And that'll wrap up this edition of the NBA Pub Up. Thanks to everyone in the chat for joining us. Hit the like button on the way out. Connor Mack and yours truly coming up in a few minutes. College basketball net profit here on Pub Sports Radio. For Dutch Boy Fresh and for Billy Briz, I'm Ian Cameron. Have a great Wednesday night. Enjoy the games and good luck. And these guys will be back tomorrow. It'll be Dutch, it'll be Ski Profit, and Durrell tomorrow on the Thursday edition of the NBA Pub Up right here on Pub Sports Radio. Dutch, take us home.
Yeah, man. Salute to them real ones holding us down in the chat. Real Deal Prime, Truth Teller, Sam Comer. I see you, my man. Swiss. As always, be sure to like, subscribe, and share the motherfucking video. Y'all stay fresh, stay blessed. Let's stay putting these motherfucking bookies to rest. Yeah, man.